What's up, everybody? It's Sarcasm Speaks, Jared and Bob. We're live watching the PGA Championship. It's Sunday night. It's the final round. Mito Pereira just hit his tee shot on 18 into the hazard. So he's got a one-shot lead.
He's got a one-shot lead over Thomas and Zalatoris. Zalatoris is probably going to make bogey, which will leave just Justin Thomas. The only problem with Pereira is where he went in the hazard. I believe he does not have a clear shot to the green.
So that's good. This is what we need.
we can't have it. Oh, yeah, he's wet.
Yeah, I'm wet. So Justin Thomas had they just show the replay. He's right. He's in the creek, right in the creek. So Justin Thomas hit a perfect tee shot on 18, did exactly what he said he was going to do right before, like they had his audio, and he's like, oh, I'll just keep it low and sweep it in. It's exactly what he did. It was perfect, beautiful. Has like 169 yards into the pin for his second shot on 18. Absolutely pipes it. Goes about, I think the final count was 10 feet, 10 inches past the cup. And he's got a 10-foot, 10-inch putt for birdie and to tie the lead. And he missed it by about 2 inches. And hits his par putt and went in the clubhouse with a 67, sitting at 5 back, 1 behind Mito. And then on the 17 green, Mito Pereira has maybe like a 13-footer for birdie.
Wait, did Zalatoris just hit that putt?
Potentially.
He might have just parred that hole after punching out.
Okay. All right.
Holy shit. So that means, he did. Wow.
So he's going to stay at 5.
Yeah. I thought he was going to bogey that. That guy can't putt. And he just hit like a fucking way outside. Whatever. Obviously, it's outside of what Cam Young's putting from right now. And he looks like he's putting from 7 feet.
Yeah. Are you, oh, sorry. So Mito Pereira had like a 13, 14-foot putt for birdie to go to 7 under, which would have sealed it. It would have basically gave him the win. And he hits the putt and it literally stops on the edge of the cup and it doesn't go in. And then he taps in for par. So that was like, wow, that's a big missed putt. So then we have that. And then right when we hit the record button was the dramatics off the tee when he hit it into the creek. And now he's going to be hitting 3.
So yeah, he'll be hitting 3, and I don't think he can. I
don't
think
get
he
it
has
on
a
the
clear
green.
shot. I don't think he has a clear shot. He'd have to hit some massive slice.
Yeah, this is good. And then Willie Z made par. JT's on the range. They're like letting him know.
Kyle Porter, who covers golf for CBS, said walking with someone who saw Mito off the tee on 18, and it looked like he got electrocuted at impact.
Oh shit! Yeah, what the hell kind of follow through was that?
That is just like, dude. That's like the punch cut. Like he just hits that like low punch cut, whatever.
And it cut way too much.
No, it's just too much gas. He should have hit 3-wood.
God.
So he's got a little bit of a better shot than I thought, but it's going to require a massive slice. Cam Young just did it, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he went a little long off the back, though, right?
No. He hit it to like 8 feet and made the putt. No. I don't know what he did. Sorry. Because Cam Young didn't go in.
Yeah, he's him and Willie Z. All right, so JT's on the range while this is all unfolds here. I played golf this morning. Did you get out today?
I went and practiced.
I got out. I got a 7:50 tee time at Heather Hill, and I played absolutely terrible. And it was, I'm going to say, mostly because of I was furious for most of the round because I got stuck behind. So I was a single. I went out as a single in a cart to play 18. And I got stuck behind 4 kids that were like somewhere between like 19 and 22. And they were just fucking assholes. Like they weren't good, which I'm not good either, but still, like they weren't good. And they were hitting it all over the place, like hitting it like 30 yards off the tee, going up again, hitting the second one in the woods, dropping a third one, hitting the next one 75 yards, going, you know what I mean? Like just sucking. And then they're like fucking around the whole time, like chasing geese. They're like chasing geese in the golf cart. They're like yelling and shit. And like from the third hole until the ninth hole, Pereira just hit a shot. Let's see.
He's done.
Yep. That's over the back left of the green. All right. So he's in the thick stuff.
Yeah. He has to hold that out to win.
Yeah.
He has to get up and down to make the playoff.
Yeah. So from the third hole to the ninth hole, I'm stuck behind these guys. And I'm sorry. From the third hole to the ninth hole, I'm literally right on them at the tee box, meaning like the 4 of them are on like teeing off, and my cart is parked right behind theirs. Do you think at any point on the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th holes, they're like, hey, man, you want to play through because you're a single? No. The answer was no. So the amount of time I was just waiting was just absolutely infuriating. And then I was pissed that they wouldn't let me, they just wouldn't let me play through. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like I was all fucked up on the front 9. Just because I was mad. Like I wasn't focused on like playing like a good game. I was like, get these fucking guys out of the way. And I was all over the place. And I made a few really good shots. My putting was actually on point. I think I had a stretch. Let me see if I can pull it up really quick. I think it was either 3 or 4 holes in a row where I had 1 putts. Let me see. 3. So I had 3 holes in a row where I had 1 putts on the front 9. So I made 16 putts total on the front. So my putting and my chipping was great. Like I was chipping on, giving myself like, 10 feet or less for most putts. And obviously 3 of them went down in 1, and then a bunch of them went down in 2. All in all, like fine, right? Like I'm still kind of adjusting to my clubs being a little bit longer. I got on the tee. So have you ever played the North Course at Heather Hill? No. It starts out with the par 3. So it was a par 3, like I forget what it was, like somewhere around 140. So I grab 8-iron and I absolutely blow the 8-iron over the back of the green. And I'm like, fuck. And then I couldn't find it because it's all fescue. And I'm like, all right, well, now I got to just fucking drop one over here and then chip it on. And then I 3-putted that for whatever it was, 6. So I made a 6 on the first hole, which wasn't great. But then like after that, like everything was, basically hunky dory until the 3rd hole when I caught those assholes on the tee box and they wouldn't let me play through. And then it was just chaos. So then I jumped. So for anyone that doesn't know, Heather Hill Country Club, shout out to Heather Hill in Plainville, Massachusetts. They have 27 holes. So typically the North Course, what they try and do is use that for people that are only playing 9. And then the middle and the South are their 18-hole course. So I played the North. So sorry, I like the North better. I was going to play 18 North Middle because sometimes people do that too. And I will pause because Pereira is about to hit his chip shot. And went long over the back. He's going to de-green himself.
Well, you got to be on the green to de-green yourself. He went
yeah, that's true.
That was awful.
Well, it looks like it's going to be a playoff between JT and Willie Z. So
I wonder what the format is. It might be 3 holes.
So I get through the first 9, and then I go, fuck this, because they pull up to the tee box for the middle, the first tee on the middle. And I go, I'm not fucking playing behind these dickheads anymore. So I scoot over to the south course and no one's there. Well, there's 3 guys there, but they're just kind of chilling. And I talk to them like, hey, what's up, guys? Like, what are you doing? I just came from the north. Like, are you starting? And they're like, yeah, we're just starting, whatever. And they're like, you can just tee off and just go and play ahead of us. So I did that. And then obviously I topped the fucking tee shot and it went about 87 yards on an upslope. So I hit 6-iron and I absolutely nuke a 6-iron. And then had like whatever 75 yards into the green, and then I get on, get out of there, and then move on and start playing. And I joined up with these other guys a couple holes later, but like they actually did what you're supposed to do, right? Like there were 2 guys playing in a cart that I caught maybe like 3 or 4 holes in on the back, and they were like, hey man, like we would let you play through, but like there's a group of 3 in front of us and there's a group of 4 in front of them. So you want to just join us? So I was like, yeah, sure. So I joined them, and then we finished out the round, like the second half of the South course together. But like I've told them about the kids that were on the North course, and they were like, dude, fuck that. They were like, we would have just left. They're like, we would have pulled in and said, fuck it, we're only playing 9. So the back I played a little bit better. My putting wasn't as good on the back, but I wasn't as all over the place, which who knew? I don't get frustrated and start getting mad, and then I actually play a little bit better. So I shot a 94, I think it was. So fine, right? It's like probably what I should be at right now, I think. Like, I don't think I'm certainly capable of breaking 90, but like that's not I got to go out and play like great and play great to break 90. So I'll take a 94. I had a shitty front 9 and a better back 9. But it's funny that like during the round, I would notice like, oh, this whole mental golf shit, like actually kind of checks out. Cause that's like the whole thing. Like we did, what's it called?
It's mental golf type.
The mental golf type. So basically it's the Myers-Briggs personality test, right? And they just apply it to golf.
Yeah, I mean, so you can do an assessment for free. So you answer a bunch of questions and then you punch in your email, and then they just like email market the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
But the info they give you is they tell you what personality traits you have, how that relates to golf. They tell you kind of like, here's what you are, and then when you're playing poorly, this is what happens. So they give you access to almost like nothing. But they kind of go through like the program is, all that shit, and then they'll tell if you're introverted or extroverted. They will give you like a video or 2, and the videos are short, kind of going through some of that stuff and whatever. And it's a fucking genius marketing thing, because they give you just enough where I'm sitting there and I'm like, fuck, I should pull the trigger. So I did. I went through the whole course, and it's interesting. It's very, very interesting, the mental golf stuff. And for like $150, being able to go through like a whole thing like that, as opposed to like working with a doctor lady or something, like,
Yeah.
it's way better. Fuck, that sucks.
So Pereira just dropped down to -4.
Yeah, he doubled that hole.
Doubled 18.
Really fucking pissed that away.
Yeah.
All right, we got Willie Z and oh, dude, you have both of these guys.
I'm guaranteed to win.
You got a cigar. It's a cigar playoff. You can't lose.
Yeah. Let's go.
Do I have to go in and take Willie Z?
Well, JT's going to win because he was 14-1 and Zalatoris was 35-1. So there's no way I'm going to win with a better odds guy. So
I might have to do some quick math. I played 36 on Friday.
oh, wow. How'd that go?
Shot 78 in the first 18. Do you want to guess what I shot in the second 18?
89.
86.
Yeah.
And it was a little gross too, but
So was that middle nine good, or like what was your best nine? The first nine? Oh, 36. Sorry.
Yeah, 36.
I thought you was 27. I just assumed it was 27.
No, the best nine was probably it was probably the middle nine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I went 39, 38, 41, 45.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you could tell, I felt good. Like I felt good. I think I mentally ran out of gas.
Well, yeah, you played 36 holes in one day. Was it straight through? Like 36 straight?
I played 18, took an hour, ate some food, and went back out for 18.
Okay. So basically, yeah, it was.
It walked the whole thing.
You walked too? Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. I mean, Sharon's not the most walkable. I mean, it's walkable for sure, but like it's not the most walkable or walk friendly course.
Didn't hit me until I got to the car.
Yeah. Yeah. How were your knees yesterday?
I felt okay. So actually it was like the origin of my right hamstring was just like fucking
your right ass cheek.
like right below, right in the crease.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, no, that sucked. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna be able to jump on this live.
Yeah,
I think they probably took it off.
They probably pulled it. I don't think it makes sense. I don't know what, like the odds for someone in a playoff, it would be like,
no, it'd be like plus 110, plus 150 or something.
Yeah.
Or like minus 110, whatever. But Zalatoris is going to be the dog, so I was just going to throw enough on it to win no matter what.
Right. So I need a cigar.
Yeah, cigar game.
That's I also hit Matt Fitzpatrick in the top 5.
That was close.
Yeah, it was very close.
He wanted to give that away.
Yeah. So I had a great weekend. So I hit Matt Fitzpatrick in top 5. That was 8.5-1. I hit Cam Young top 20. And then I'm either going to hit Will Zalatoris at 35-1 or JT at 14-1.
Yeah, that is pretty good.
Yeah. Cam Young was 3-1 at top 20. I had Shoffley and Neiman top 10, but they both fucking suck dick. So Shoffley got just close enough to not crack the top 10. He finished even on the round, and 1 under would have been T9. So that's awesome. Hey, can't win them all, right?
Fucking Chris Healy wasn't even watching that shit.
Oh, really?
Fucking loser. Yeah, no, honestly. So this time with the PGA, because I don't like. So for the Masters, I had a ton of picks, but that's because I went to Rhode Island. I had some picks on DraftKings. Like I don't like to just use up my entire offshore account on golf bets, because the likelihood of me hitting a golf bet on a major versus any other week is really not different.
No.
So why would I pick more players?
Yeah. Yeah.
For the PGA. And actually, so like next week's Colonial, we have information about Colonial. We have history at Colonial. Like we have stuff. We know nothing about the majors. Right. So it actually makes less sense to have a higher liability. It's like the Super Bowl, like where people are like, oh, you know what? It's a Super Bowl. I'm going to bet $200. And it's like the Super Bowl is the hardest game to bet.
Right.
We have an entire season of lines and line movement, whatever. That is the sharpest line of the year. Yeah. But week 8, Bengals, fucking Jaguars, you might be able to find something.
Yeah.
So.
All right. They're carting them off.
Yeah, they got to play 13, 17, 18. I think I think 17's drivable. It's a 3-hole. It's a 3-hole aggregate. They're playing 3 holes. I don't know what 13 is, but it works in the route. 17 is drivable.
Right.
18 is a bitch.
Yeah, you gotta watch out.
But we'll see, because if one of those guys is ahead, then they can just pull 3-wood, pull it back, hit a big flare to the center of the green, 2-putt, and get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
But who knows? Willie Z, man. You know what's funny too? So if he loses this playoff, I think I'm going to immediately fire US Open.
Okay.
Him.
Yeah.
If he wins, I will not, because that's winning 2 majors in a season.
Yeah. No one can do that.
It's extremely unlikely.
Yeah.
But he is a ball striking machine, and I think the greens at the country club are going to be so dialed up that it's going to neutralize putting.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
But
I mean, here it is at the end, right? Do we talk about this in one of the previous episodes too, where typically like the guys that win the PGA, they're like kind of like a someone, right? Like they don't come out of nowhere.
I ran back, and it was generally good players have won.
Right.
Jimmy Walker in 2016, and then going back, depending on where you consider the Duff Daddy, until you got to Keegan Bradley.
Yeah.
But like, not for nothing, like I think Jimmy Walker's a loser, but even Jimmy Walker, Duffner, and Keegan Bradley, like they've all won like 5 times on.
Yeah, tour. I don't think Keegan Bradley is a total bum. Like he's won multiple times on tour.
Yeah, he probably has like 4 or 5 wins, but he won a couple early. So he won like the Bridgestone.
Yeah.
And he won the PGA like in his rookie and second year or something. So he won a couple big ones early. He's also pissed some away too, but he's also gotten a little bit better. Like he kind of almost went into like a late 20s low.
Yeah. Oh, he won the PGA as a rookie.
Yeah. 2011.
Yeah, he has 4 wins on tour.
Yeah, and I mean, he hits the ball plenty far. I'm sure he's pretty good with his irons. JT might have just he might have been blocked out. Where the fuck is the green? Oh, okay. No, we're not. He's good.
Yeah, his wins were the Byron Nelson, the PGA, then the Bridgestone, then the BMW.
Oh, okay. So he actually won the Byron Nelson as a rookie, won the PGA as a rookie, and then won the 2012 Bridgestone.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, you were right about the Bridgestone. You just had the year off.
I said in his first 2 because I didn't think he won, because the Bridgestone, because if he was to win the Bridgestone in 2011, it would have been back-to-back weeks.
Oh yeah.
They used to play the Bridgestone the week before. They used to be a brutal stretch, or I guess not a brutal stretch, but they used to go over to fucking England or whatever, UK. They'd play the Open Championship, come back. It would be a joke of an event. And then it would be the Bridgestone and the PGA. It
would be like the John Deere. Isn't the John Deere after the Open?
I think it's the week before, because if you win the John Deere, you can get in. Might have been like the Canadian, the RBC Canadian or something.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to our Canadian listeners up north. Oh, he lost a playoff at the Northern Trust in 2012 too. So he had a pretty good first 2 years on tour.
Yeah.
3 wins and 1 playoff loss.
Yep. But we'll see see how this shakes out. US Open's going to be like almost like the same handicap. It's like,
yeah,
you're almost probably looking at, honestly, like same dudes. Because like how dude, so how bad, like how different is it really going to be? What did everyone say all week? it was off the tee, around the green, approach, like.
And then
look for
I'm not familiar with the layout of the country club, but is it also kind of like hilly? Not like big not I'm not talking like Donald Ross, but I mean like, you know how like here like the fairways like undulate and you get some like weird lies and shit.
I don't know. Never been.
Yeah.
tried to
I honestly know nothing about the country club
I tried to qualify
other than it's in Brookline.
the Mass Am that was there that year. Didn't get through.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, other than that, I've never played. Plus, they play a composite course. So the country club has 27 holes. There's the Clyde and Squirrel, and then there's the Primrose. The Primrose is 9, and they use a mix of the 27 to get their composite course. So they're gonna have a hole that they haven't used since 1913 when Francis Ouimet won. And
Jesus Christ.
Well, everyone remembers that one.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be like 130 yards, but it's surrounded by bunkers, and I think it's like landing the ball on a fucking Volkswagen Beetle. So, like, it's just a fucking crown. Like, that's all it is. So obviously it's not that severe because they say that about Pinehurst too. But like, you can land the ball, whatever.
Yeah.
Dinner plate's a little more.
Right.
Like an upside down dinner plate.
Yeah. It's a little more appropriate. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Right. I'm excited. I mean, we'll be there on Saturday. So
yeah. But yeah, I kind of want to take Willie Z if he loses. Actually, I might just fire either guy if they lose.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad bet.
Yeah.
The only thing that'll be interesting, well, I don't know, maybe, because I was going to say, so we got Zalatoris at 35-1 for this, right? So what I was going to say was his odds won't be that long, but maybe. Like he may be in the 20s, but I don't think he's going to be one of the favorites.
Well, give me a second. I'll just pull it up on ad read.
MyBookie.com. You go over to MyBookie.com and use the promo code SarcasmPod when you sign up, and they'll double your first deposit up to $1,000. So yeah, that's right. You pull it up now, but because I'm thinking there's too many other guys, right? Like there's Scheffler, Rahm, Schauffele, Rory, JT, like all of those guys are going to be ahead of Zalatoris. So like you might not be able to get Zalatoris at 35-1 for the US Open, but you might be able to get him in the 20s.
Should I take him at 35-1 right now?
Yes.
No,
yeah.
I no, honestly, I only want him if he loses this playoff.
Yeah.
Also, I guess while we're doing it, Matt Fitzpatrick did win the USAM at the country club in 2013.
And I don't know if he still is, but at one point he was the leader on the PGA Tour in total strokes gained.
Yes, I believe he still is. And he had a good week this week too.
He finished 5. I hit the top 5 bet. 8 plus 850.
Oh, say no more. Matt Fitzpatrick 38-1 going in. Fuck, do I really want to take him to win?
I might be a huge bitch and just do another top 5 bet. Because I just don't trust Matt Fitzpatrick to actually win. Wow, look at that golf tan, huh?
Is it better than mine?
No, look at on me on the screen.
Oh.
That's from today.
Yeah.
I got fucking toasted this morning.
You didn't have a sea breeze.
Yeah. Well, the front was fine. Right? I teed off at 740. So I was fine, but the back 9, I got a little cooked. But it'll turn into a tan. And, yeah, it does. It will.
I would love to hear this Mito interview right now.
Yeah. I don't know what I did wrong. That was that was more Asian.
He is Chilean, not fucking whatever the Asian you were going with.
Hello.
Yeah, he's not Asian.
My name is Mito.
Chilean. He's from Santiago, Chile. Who's been to Santiago, Chile twice?
It's funny because you think they're Spanish, but when I was listening to Joaquin Neiman on the interview earlier, he sounded more French. So I don't know if like Chile has a French influence in their Spanish or what. Oh, someone.
No, that's a replay.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, oh no, someone
Yeah,
someone just went in the fucking creek.
That was still him.
Nope, still him. Still this piece of shit.
So fuck, I miss Zalatoris. It looks like he laid up too.
Yeah. Oh, look at that crowd.
Well, you got to remember, so this is 13 where
It's, I would imagine it's kind of in the middle.
It's like it's close to 17. So like they were able to bring some people over, but
it also helps that they're literally the only two on the course. So like anyone that's left is just going to go to these holes.
Yeah. But if you're on 17, 18, you basically just stay.
Yeah.
Because they have to play. That's the thing. This isn't sudden death. They have to play all three.
They have to play all three. Yeah. Okay. So what do we got?
Spin.
That wind is whipping.
All right, we got a wedge off.
That is a great shot. JT's got about, 8 feet?
That's what it looks like from here. But 8 feet's only a 50-50 make rate.
Yeah. Shout out to Lou Stagner.
I think he's coming up the hill, and Mark Brody, the creator of Strokes Gained.
I love, he's been on a tear recently, the Lou Stagner guy, being like, just ripping on people, being like, oh, the average PGA Tour player hits the green from 150 yards like 42% of the time or something. Lower your expectations. Like he just rips golfers on Twitter the common man golfer all the time.
Well, this is the thing though, because these people, so a lot of what he does is manage your expectations.
Yeah.
So one of the stats last week was from 125 to 150 in the fairway. PGA Tour player is just as likely to hit it outside of 31 feet than inside of 10 feet.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that they just hit the ball stiff, and they don't.
Right.
And it gets even more fucked up when he does like from 20 yards in the rough, what the average proximity to the hole is, because everyone thinks it's like chip to a kick in. It's probably 5 feet, 6 feet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Could be more. Could be 8 feet. Like, and that's the thing. Like, everyone has such fucking unrealistic expectations of what it all is. Actually, is Willie Z putting for Eagle right now?
Oh shit. Is he?
Yeah, so he got home.
It's a little further away. Yeah, he is putting for Eagle.
But that's what it comes down to all the time is people don't know what realistic expectations are for themselves. And again, they all think like people will still say shit. Like when he says, here are the PGA Tour stats, people will still say it's like, oh, well, they play harder pins, so you should, like, I can aim for them. And it's like, they play harder pins, but they're also severely more talented than you.
Yeah. It's equal. Like it equals out.
Yeah. Okay. So like, I'll give you a little bit here. If it's a middle pin and you aim at the middle, fine. Because if you miss a little right and a little left, you didn't short side.
Right. You're fine. You should be generally okay.
But yeah, I mean, if you're going to hit to an uphill green, like a left pin over a bunker, and it's like, if you dump that ball in that bunker, you're fucking screwed because you're not good. And they are.
They get out of bunkers great, and you do not.
But even then, like even out of a bunker, their like average proximity is not what you would think it is.
Yeah.
Like they don't hit it stiff out of the bunker all the time.
Right.
And that's why it's always so funny when the announcers are like, oh, great putt.
Oh, I'm behind. You're seeing the future.
Oh, I also said it while the ball was rolling, but
You just put it right now for me, and it
okay.
just went in the cup.
All right, I'll shut up from now
It's
on.
like a 7-second delay.
And it's just like, especially with golf, because then like, so he also does some stuff too, and this like purposely ruffles feathers because there are no statistics on some of this stuff. But one thing he tries to encourage golfers to do is play an appropriate yardage.
Right.
So most golfers don't look at scorecard yardage. They just go, oh, I play blues or I play whites. And it's like, all right, well, if you come to Sharon Country Club, like our tees are 6,500 yards. We have one par five, one par three. So, like, you need to know what that is.
Right.
Like, we
Right.
have 6,000 yards without our par five. Like, that's pretty long.
Yeah.
Or no, I guess it would be, sorry, that's only on one side. So 5-9. We have 5,500 without our par five, which is pretty long because some places have white tees that are only 5,500 long.
Right.
So it's like knowing shit like that. And then people are like, no, I think I'll play whatever tees I want to play because I want to enjoy the game. And if I want to enjoy it from the tips, I think I will. And it's like, how do you enjoy playing from the tips if you're going to shoot fucking 100? Like,
Yeah. Just play up. It's
it's not
fine.
fucking fun. Like, what
Yeah.
is fun about that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get that part.
You nuke a driver and still have like 250 yards into the pin. It's like, oh,
Well,
sick.
it's like if I never played a competitive event, why would I ever move back?
Yeah.
Because like why? Because I hate hitting the ball far and having birdie putts. Yeah, you're right. I'd rather punch out of trees and make double. Like that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like for a lot of people, if they're like 25 handicaps, it's like, why are you playing back? And then never mind, it's like he does it based off like yardage. So it's like if your average carry is X, you should be playing from wherever. Or if you hit a 5-iron this far, you should be playing from wherever. Because some people have like algorithms and shit for that.
Yeah.
And then never mind, he says he'll say something like that, and then he'll get eviscerated for it because all these people want all these qualifiers. Like he just puts it out there, and then people are like, well, I live in Denver and we're at elevation and the ball goes further. It's like, I'm going to play from 7,000. It's like, yeah, dude, because your 7,000 is my 6,300.
Right.
It's fucking different.
Yeah. I just pulled it up. It's, so if you hit your driver 225 yards, you should play between 58 and 6,000. If you hit it 250, you should play 62 to 6,400. And then if you hit it 275, you should play 67 to 6,900 yards.
Which is pretty funny because you just said 250 was 62 to 6,400.
Yep.
So when I play shorter than that, it feels short. When I play that, it seems normal.
Right.
And when I play, oh, JT on the green, let's fucking go. Sorry.
It's all right. I know what's going to happen. Oh, look at that. He's on the green. Woo-wee.
Yeah, he fucking nailed it.
Yeah.
And then when I play from like 68, it's like, I better have my fucking A game or else it's going to be a long day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And every fucking time it goes like that every single fucking time. Every last time.
You said Sharon is 65.
Oh, yeah, 6,500. But again, we only have one par three and one par five.
So when we play from the yellows,
6,000.
It's 6,000. Oh, what do you know? And that's usually when I play pretty decent. Because it's not super consistent, but I would say I can usually put the driver like 250. I mean, sometimes I can hit it 270.
You would have to probably consider it. See, you're in a weird spot because you're probably right in between those two categories because it's average.
Right.
So, like when you hit a squirrely one and it only goes 2.25, well, that kind of negates the one that hit the fairway, bounced, and went 260. So,
right.
That's the only, like with driver, that's the only thing.
I piped one today. I think it was like 267. It was just short of 270.
Well, the other thing too with Sharon is it forces, because this is the other thing, like when you're talking courses, it forces you to lay up on holes, but
Yeah.
doesn't make it, but it's still not easy. Like, it's like when a creek runs through the third hole and everyone kind of hits it to the same area. Well, everyone still has to hit that approach shot up to the green, and it's
Right.
not the approach. So it's like,
Right.
oh, the hole's only 320. It's like, yeah, but you can't hit driver.
Yeah.
Like, you got to pull it back, and it's got to be good. And if it's not, then you still have to hit 100 yards, but it goes straight up the hill. It's usually wind at you. The
Yeah.
pins are in awful spots, and the green is the fucking worst.
That green does suck.
Yeah, they got to, I don't know, they got to do something about it. They're talking about redesigning it, but who knows?
Yeah. All right. Well, they're in a what the fuck it's called? Commercial break. So do you want to start wrapping this up?
Yeah, we can wrap this up.
So we got a how a sausage is made moment here, because we are doing 2 episodes tonight because we have Memorial Day weekend next weekend, and we got shit going on. So yeah, we'll do 2 episodes now. We'll finish this one up. We'll take a pee break, and then we will come back for a part 2, but your part 2 will be on Thursday. So the next hour that we spend, you guys will have to wait like 3 days to hear it. So let's wrap. Oh, actually, before we wrap this up, did Zalatoris get on the green too?
No, he's alive, but he was flirting with a hazard line.
Okay. All right. Well, got a final thought?
Yeah. So I've had this in here for a little bit, and someone asked me, because he's trying to get into bourbon, so they always ask, blah 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 blah, whatever. So I made a little roadmap for how to get into bourbon for anyone that's interested. And number one is, the way people generally have to start is you probably have to go on the rocks. Now, I drink it neat. I like it neat. I don't like it on the rocks.
Yeah. Same.
But you probably have to start that way. You probably have to start with some ice just to take the fucking heat off. Now, some people use like droppers and they add water to their stuff. I never really got into that. It just wasn't something I was interested in. Plus, I don't know. I've never felt the need to do it.
No.
On some like really high proof stuff, it might help. But I'm talking like 130 proof, and dropping like an eyedropper, and I'm talking like 3 drops of water, something like that.
Yeah.
So that might be like the first strategy is, start with the rocks, work your way towards need, take it away, add a little bit of water, whatever kind of needs to happen. And then from there, my goal or my recommendation always is figure out the basics. So the basics should cost somewhere between like 30 and 40 bucks. If it's less than, or like 28 to 40. If it's less than that, I probably wouldn't bother, because if you're sitting there like, Jim Beam's tough to drink, it's like, yeah, because Jim Beam sucks.
Yeah, Jim Beam is fucking terrible.
Like, I would not bother with that.
It's the Rubinoff of bourbons.
I would also make sure that you are drinking bourbon and not drinking Tennessee whiskey, because sometimes Tennessee whiskey tastes like charcoal or bananas, depending on where your fucking flavor's at, because it's not the same.
Yeah.
So that means, my basics for you to master are Knob Creek, Makers, or Larceny. You can pick, but those are both wheated bourbon. So you gotta get used to like one or the other. Most people don't like Makers full on, so try Larceny, whatever.
Yeah, I like Larceny. I don't like Makers. The one caveat, like I agree with you earlier that I don't drink bourbon on the rocks, but if I'm gonna get Makers, I have to get Makers on the rocks. Like I can't drink Makers neat. I just don't enjoy it.
Now some people like it, so whatever, it is what it is. But those are wheated bourbons. They're a little less powerful. They could potentially come out as sweeter. So you should get used to drinking those at some point. Then I would go for either a Bullet or a Four Roses. Those are going to be your higher rye bourbons, so they're going to be a little bit spicier. It might bring a little bit more heat to the party. So either one I think's fine. I personally like Four Roses better. But like entry level, it kind of doesn't matter. And then I would also get used to Woodford, because out of the basics, Woodford's generally regarded as like the best of the basics.
I would agree with that. As far as like considering what you can find at a bar, right?
Yeah. So if you go to a bar, chances are they'll have three.
You already saw it.
Yeah, I already saw it. Which one did you just see? Willie Z?
Oh, you just gave it away. That means JT missed a putt too. You said which one? Oh no, does he miss another one?
What putt did you just watch?
Willie Z just missed his birdie putt.
Yeah, so he just tapped in.
Yeah, tapped in for par.
Yeah, Justin Thomas is putting for birdie right now.
Yeah. Oh, when you said which one did you see, I was like, oh no, they both missed.
Well, Justin Thomas left his eagle putt like way short. Yeah, so like if you go to any bar, usually there's some permutation of knob, makers, Bullet, Woodford, generally speaking.
Yes.
I'm not missing one. I'm like, those are generally like the
three staples.
Yeah, like
and makers. You said makers?
Yeah, makers, knob, Bullet, and Woodford.
Yeah, those four.
Generally speaking, those are your like standards.
Yep.
But I gave you a couple caveats. Like if you don't want makers, or if you try it and don't like it, try Larceny, because Larceny is the same profile, but it tastes a little bit better. And then again, same with Four Roses. Like I wouldn't just drink the Bullet orange label. I would try not to. I would rather drink Four Roses.
Yeah, I don't like Bullet, but I do like Four Roses.
Yeah, and they're similar. They're similar make, but it ends up being different. So like that's what I mean. Categorically they're the same, but they're not the same bourbon.
Which I blame Bullet for the reason why I've always thought that I didn't like ryes.
Because you didn't like Bullet rye.
Because I hate Bullet rye with a passion. Like that's something like if I drink it, I will literally spit it out.
Yeah, Bullet rye I don't think is very good. Also, ryes are not bourbon; they are ryes.
Yeah, but I've had a rye before, or I've had bourbons that are high ryes, and I actually don't hate them. But I've always had it in my head like, oh, I don't like ryes.
Yeah,
because my experience with Bullet rye had made me absolutely fucking hate it.
Yep. So once you decide that you're gonna move beyond the basics, I would start messing around with some bottled and bond stuff. So you can get bottled and bond, which is it has to meet certain criteria in order for it to be bottled and bond. Like way back in the day, bottled and bond was because people were fucking making their own whiskey, and this shit was actually coming from the government, like controlled whatever. So I would try bottled and bond because it's very controlled and it has to meet certain criteria. They can't get too creative with it. And you can get that with almost any major brand, like 1792, Evan Williams.
What's the
we're not
what's the one with the three different colors? And they're the years. It's like the 19. Oh yeah, Old Forester. Yeah, the 1920, like the 1890. Yeah.
But the bottled and bonds, they're all 100 proof. They have to be 100 proof. No more, no less. Have to be. So then that's how you can start moving into like a little bit higher proofage, because all of those other ones are going to be a lot closer to like 90 or so.
Yeah.
Justin Thomas holding on.
All right, stay in. I know we stayed in because you told me, but we're good.
No, actually, so that ball was in the air when I said that.
Oh,
I can't help myself. Okay. So once you mess around with some bottle and bonds and you have a brand that you like out of the basics, then I am moving to single barrels in 10 years. So single barrel is whatever bottles get produced. They come from one barrel at a time, as opposed to something that could be batched and mixed and whatever. This is where things start to get a little bit higher proof. You start to get stronger flavors. And this is actually where you might actually figure out what you like a little bit more. Now, the reason you don't start with this stuff is, again, it's higher test. So you got to get used to actually drinking bourbon before you get into
yeah.
this stuff.
Yeah, you can't just pull like a Stag Junior as your first fucking
No,
bourbon.
well, either way, we're not even there yet. But you could find like a single barrel. What's Knob Creek single barrel? First of all, it's $50 a bottle, and I think it's like 105 or so, something like that.
120.
No, is it 120?
120.
It is a 120.
Regular knob is 100.
Okay, so Knob Creek single, not only is it going to cost you $50, it's going to be $120 in proof. No, percent, sorry. Yeah, no, proof. 120 proof.
Proof, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's over 100% alcohol. And you might not even know if you like it. So you got to kind of like build your way up to that. My two favorites obviously are Eagle Rare and McKenna in that category. McKenna is also a bottled and bond, but it is a 10-year, unless they got rid of the fucking label. But I like those two. Those two are always solid, and it's really fucking hard to go wrong with those.
Yeah. Hey, Henry McKenna is my number one. It won both times in our blind taste test.
And then finally, you get to barrel proof. Barrel proof is very high test stuff. It's very expensive stuff. It's very flavorful. You don't want to ice this stuff down. You could maybe add a couple drops of water. I'm not a drop of water guy, but you could do it here theoretically. You don't want to get barrel proof stuff until you're fucking ready for it, because it'll fucking burn through your nose. It'll be very unenjoyable. It's going to be awful. So if you are interested in getting into bourbon because you want to and you haven't, hit the basics first. Then you can move to bottled and bond. Then you can move to single barrels in 10 years. That's when stuff starts to get a little more expensive. And then finally, you get barrel proof, and that's the stuff that should not be taken lightly.
I like it. All this bourbon talk, I think I'm going to pour myself a bourbon in our halftime here.
There you go.
Come back, take a pee, pour a bourbon. I take my contacts out because my eyes are fucking dry. I get the fan cranking in here because this obviously the AC is not going on in here. Our second floor, we just have the stand up air conditioner that we had back in Mansfield.
Yep.
That's in the window up against like the wall on the neighbor house side. And it's cranking on high, and the best it can do right now is 77. But 77 is a lot better than the fucking 93, whatever it was outside today. So we got to we shut this door, we shut the bathroom door, the laundry room, the spare bedroom, like all the doors are shut. And we got an AC in our bedroom, but that's like around the corner, like down the hallway. So that doesn't really do anything. But I think what we're going to have to do is end up getting another AC, so I'm going to have to get like a 12,000 BTU AC for the living room, and then take the stand-up one and put it in this room on that window over there. And then the two of them going together should be able to do the whole second floor to like actually cold, not like just slightly less hot.
No, you don't want cold though.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so my final thought is going to be about the good old meth heads down by, but that meth is, methadone, the methadone heads, not meth as in methamphetamines, down on Mass Ave in Boston.
Dude, so I don't think that clinic's even open.
Oh yeah.
They don't go.
Well, that's where they hang out. They get food and shit right there. I think it's a shelter and
Yeah,
whatever
but
it is.
they're mostly just still on fucking heroin and smoking crack.
Yeah. Well, people are going in and out of there. So I was there yesterday and Friday. I had to work yesterday, do a move for the hospital, BMC. I guess I can just say it because there's literally only one hospital that's right there. So a quick Google search is going to tell you who it is. But we had to move them from one building like across the street and down a little bit. And it was like the main building, and then it's like the methadone clinic, and then next to that is the building we moved them into, or like across the street from that technically is the new building we moved them into. So I was working yesterday and had to walk back and forth a couple times, and like, holy shit, you want to talk about like some fucking entertainment. I was there on Friday too. I think I sent the Snapchat video to our group thing. There was the guy that was like punching the fucking street sign like he was like Rocky or something. And then before that, he was doing like box jumps like up onto like the fucking like the wall, like a brick wall. He was like doing box jumps. He was trying to balance on top of the fire hydrant for a little while. It was great. It was great entertainment. I called him Meth Man because then at one point he just disappeared. So it was like, whoa, he got called to like, go save the day or something. So he's Meth Man. And at one point there was a building next to, or one of the BMC buildings, I think, was giving out free ice cream. Well, who do you think was all the people that went to go get free ice cream?
Crackheads?
Yep. So there's quite a bit of them out there. It's like,
down there, though.
Yeah, you want to talk about like zombie land and some fucking craziness. At one point I said to, the girl that I work with, and I was like, I'm honestly kind of envious of like this guy who, like the meth man guy, because I was like, he probably thinks he lives an amazing life. Like he probably actually thinks he's a superhero right now. He's like punching the street sign and like doing box jumps. Like he's happy, like he's content, right? Like he's cooked out of his mind, but like he's in a good space. I'm like, hey man, like good for him. Like, I wish I could be that oblivious to the world and think I was some kind of superhero or something. But yeah, they cleaned up the whole area. They took out all the tents. All the tents are gone. Methadone Mile is basically no more. And then one of the guys
should have went further down. So, where, like, so if you're coming from South Bay, that's Southampton.
Yep.
And then before you get to, I think it turns directly into Mass Ave.
Yeah.
Like down there on the right, I'll do the actions.
There's like that one intersection where there's like 5 fucking streets and no one knows what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the action's still over there.
Yeah. Well, so that's the thing. That's what I was going to say. The guy from the moving company that I was talking to said that, yeah, they basically cleaned up Methadone Mile, but now crime in the area has gone up like 70%. And I go, yeah, I mean, what did they expect was going to happen? They were like, get rid of all the tents, and the people were going to be like, oh no, they got rid of the tent. Guess I have to quit doing drugs and go get a job. Like, no, yeah. they're just going to fucking go commit crime. And I was like, as much as it sucks, right, that you see like a tent city on Methadone Mile, like they're at least there, like chilling, hanging out, like not bothering anybody. Well, now they can't chill and hang out anymore. So guess what? Now they're going to go bother people. And that's how crime increases and all that shit. And I guess he also told me that now Boston Common is pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah. So they all got kicked out of there and they all went and relocated to the Common. So, I mean, like I said too, like what the fuck did you think was going to happen? Like, did you really think that like getting rid of their shit was going to, like I said, make them be like, oh, I guess I gotta go get a job?
No. See, that's the thing, is because outside Michaela's office, which is a little away from, not far by any means, but it's away from like where the real spot was. And they like started to migrate there and they fucking kicked him out of there. But that's because I thought they were trying to concentrate it all back to the original spot. Because they're not going anywhere. That's the thing. They're not going anywhere. They all have somewhere to go. but they
Right.
don't want to because you got to play by other people's rules, and they're not interested in that part of it.
Right. And there's a whole thing that Michael Schellenberger wrote a book, San Francisco. That was pretty good. And he talks about this, like how to actually fix like the homeless problem. And just kicking them out of the area that they live in isn't going to solve the problem because they're just going to disperse and go other areas. Like he talks about how like you need to provide them with like somewhere to live. You need to provide them with actual rehabilitation. Like you can't just be like, get the fuck out of here and then think that they're just going to like figure life out on their own, because up until this point, they've been unable to figure out life on their own. So you taking away their tent isn't going to fucking change anything.
If you move them, it'll change.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. They'll be a little bit inconvenienced. So now they'll stop doing drugs. Like, no, you guys are stupid. Yeah. But we don't want to look at it. It's an eyesore. Okay, well then give them somewhere to live, right? Like provide them with a shelter, like provide them with, like actually get them involved in like some sort of rehabilitation program where like maybe they, they work 2 days a week, until they can take clean tests and you know what I mean? Like actually like rehab them and help them become real people again. Like don't just be like, oh yeah, no, you guys can't live here anymore. We got to get rid of your tents.
The only thing, because the one main problem is there is somewhere for them all to go, but they got to be sober. That's the one hindrance right now.
All right. JT just won. Winner. 14-1. I told you he was going to be the one that wins.
Let's just go right here.
Yep. Fires off bet on Will Zalatoris for the U.S. Open. Has he won the PGA before?
Who, JT?
Yeah.
Yeah, he won in 2017.
Is he a one-off for the career Grand Slam guy, or is he?
Because those are his only 2 majors.
Oh, okay.
PGA twice. Damn it, Will Zalatoris, 31.
He's fallen. You should have fired it off at 35.
I know. Well, once it loads, it's in.
I'll take him at 31 right now.
Yep, I got it.
Let's go to golf. Don't forget, mybookie.com. Promo code SarcasmPod doubles your first deposit up to $1,000. As I'm trying to fire this bet off.
And Justin Thomas dropped from 1550 to 1425 for the U.S. Open, but I don't want him.
Yeah, no thanks. All right, so that is going to do it for us for the first half here. We're going to take a break. We're going to reload and get what we got to get done, and then we'll be back. So thank you to grillyourassoff.com. Use the same promo code over there, SarcasmPod. Get you 15% off your entire order every single time you check out. You can find us on Instagram at Sarcasm Speaks Pod. We're on Twitter at Sarcasm_speaks. This is going to be good. I'm losing my voice. Second episode's going to go great. Facebook page is Sarcasm Speaks. The website is sarcasmspeaks.com. Like, rate, subscribe, give us a thumbs up if you're on YouTube. Tell everybody you know about the show, spread the word, help us get famous. And until next time, good night, everybody.